What's up, everybody? Welcome to the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim Hicks, coming to you live from Houston, Texas. But we're broadcasting all over the world via Facebook Live and YouTube Live. And today is Monday. Oh my goodness, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. But let me get everything. Let me share the show right quick and make sure everybody is in the building. Let me take roll call. I have to take roll call. And I share the show with my friends and my group. Somebody came on here and said I'm late. No, I wasn't. It's no, I I was right on time. If you just go, but I like that. I like that. I like that. And guess what? And I almost was a few more minutes later. I'm serious. I was almost a few more minutes later, and should have been. But guess what I do? I just get here, try to get here. Kevin, what's up, Mr. Lyles? I see you there, Mr. Lyles. You be safe on them highways out there, man. Uh, Glad you keep me abreast of where you at. Would you be out there on your own out there on the road? But ladies and gentlemen, great weekend, different weekend. What do you have over the weekend? Anybody? Thaddeus Moody, you have anything over the weekend? We got Thaddeus Moody. We got Rod Wells. I know what he had. Shout out to Rod Wells. Rod Wells was keeping me abreast to what was going on at the state football playoff. Y'all, I'm just not a I would talk about it with y'all, and I don't know if y'all checking out my new shirt. HBCUs influence everything in all black everything. But from the Anthony Lawrence collection, by the way. Uh, but you know, and I was just thinking about something. I'm just telling you, I really, I. And I hate to say it, Rod Wells, and I know y'all fans of it. I really don't care. I don't know none of the players in high school football. I really don't know none of them personal. And people don't understand. You have to have a personal rooting interest. Like in baseball, you got to have a personal rooting. The game, you have to pass. So I don't have, but I wanted Houston to win, and one of the Houston teams win. Duncanville, they won. They won the game, and I think Randall lost, and C.E. King got beat too. Uh, so I guess you're gonna blame it on the coach. They're gonna fire the coach. Yeah, the Chicago Bears looking good. Thaddeus Moody said the Chicago Bears, they looking good. Houston Texans got out of there with a win yesterday. It was against the Raiders. My boy Shadua played well yesterday. Man, I'm telling y'all, man, I'm serious. I don't want him for this team. I just want him for anybody else except this Cleveland. I just can't cheer for Cleveland. But it's just funny, man, that if you go look at my DVR right now, I taped one game yesterday. The Cleveland Browns game. One game. I mean, because what? I got a personal rooting interest. That's one thing I learned about a personal rooting interest because Shador. If Shador went on that team, y'all know I wouldn't be talking about no Cleveland Browns. But TSU got a game tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give y'all some information about that. Tonight, the men play tonight. Who did they play against? I think they play against Abilene Christian. I'm not sure, but I think that's who it is. Yes, Abilene Christian tonight. I'm not familiar with that team as much. Y'all, we ain't got but a few more games left before, yeah. We got one more game against Houston Tillerson. on December 30th, after this game, Abilene Christian, they're going to have their Christmas break. It's at 4 p.m. today. So, wow. So soon as the show over, I'll probably be headed straight over there to check my guys out tonight. Yes, yeah, that's what I think I do. I think I do that tonight. That's what I think I do tonight. Cause I haven't, I seen them person, a few times. But I've been studying them and just want to watch and just see, can I see improvement? Anytime, and I know we see a lot of losses, but I want to see improvement. I want to see what players are doing. If players, are you making the same mistakes you were making in game one? What was game one? Game one against Gonzaga. Are you making the same mistakes you made against Texas A&M? The same mistakes you made in your loss at Sanford. The same mistakes you're doing. The same players. We can't do the same things and expect different results against Texas State. Could have won that game. Same mistakes you're making against Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt is a pretty good team. Then you go beat the College of Biblical Studies. And then we come back. Sam Houston could have won that game. Mistakes. Minnesota, pretty good team. And North Carolina State. And we got to get the better. And what I just try to watch is how people are progressing. And because the game of basketball, it's about not necessarily making I'm trying to put it the right way. I wrote some about this one time. And I want to give it to you the right way. I want to give it to you like a TI is. Cause I was talking about it. This is why but I know one thing you got to do in basketball, you got to minimize your live turnovers. And I know that. But if you watch the game, live turnovers will kill you. I call them pick sixes. Uh, let's see. I wrote a note to myself about U of H, and I got it from Kellen Sampson, not the dad, the son. Um, and I didn't plan on doing it. It just made me think about it because I put it in my notes. Um, but he was just talking about just certain things. If you don't do certain things, you're playing losing basketball instead of winning basketball. And I'm trying to find it. I mean, when I tell you, but I put so. Oh yeah, it's coming. It should be coming. It's a new rule in basketball. I'll tell you about it. I think this might be it. How here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Yeah, I got it. Uh, Basketball is a game. Y'all watch it. Basketball is a game, Sonya. You're trying to eliminate mistakes. Okay? Trying to eliminate mistakes. Basketball is not a game of great plays. Basketball is a game of eliminating mistakes. You'll find winning, right? Once you eliminate losing. Winning, damn, I can change, boy, I can change my thing. Winning, he's talking about winning is on the other side of eliminating losing. What's losing? What's losing? Y'all watch this. What's losing is not understanding if you have a crackback, right? Losing is not understanding if you on the top of the eye and your job is to protect against middle penetration. You're on the top of the eye, right there at the top of the key, and your job is to protect that area and you don't. Losing is closing out to a shooter and you don't have your stick hand high. Losing is closing out to a shooter with the wrong stick hand. Stick hand is the hand you have up in the air. All of these little concepts to your defense bring losing into the equation. And that's when you're watching these teams and I'm watching certain teams lose. If you do it correctly, you eliminate losing. And that's where you find winning. Thank you, Kellen Sampson, for that information. Because he said people that are actual champions, they do regular stuff better and more consistent than everyone else. I like that. I like that. Uh-huh. I like that. I like that. I like that. I gave y'all something. I gave you, but that's master coaching right there. That's master coach. What else I have for y'all today? Hold on. Oh, got so much. The TSU game, it's today at 4 o'clock. I don't know where you're doing it, folks, but if you're there, TSU play Abilene Christian. You know what? I was watching. I know the Texans won. Let me shout out to Sonya. Let me get y'all the common stuff out the way. You know the Texans won. They beat Raiders. Sonya Billings just said she was about to have a heart attack at the game, and let me see what they did. I just maybe I got to do it for y'all because I'm not just excited about it. Uh, Eagles beat the Commanders. The Bears beat the Packers. That was a big win. Like I said, the Browns should have beat the Bills. Shedeur played his butt off again. Uh, if I was them people, if I was them people, I'd lock him up right now. Uh, but I hope they don't and send him elsewhere. The Jets got fired, got their head toe off. Aaron Glenn had to fire a guy. Man, they find guys in midseason. They find guys in midseason coaches. I don't understand it. The Chiefs, the Titans beat the Chiefs, but the Titans won a game. Oh, Patrick Mahomes is out. Dallas Cowboys, I just don't understand them and what they're doing. The Vikings beat the Giants. Okay, the Panthers beat the man. This boy, y'all got to realize this boy. See, that's why y'all can't be giving up on these young quarterbacks because Bryce Young, y'all was ready to get rid of him as a rookie. They was ready to get rid of him. He said the Texans have a swinger's chance. Their defense is off the chain. What's up, Alvin Pettit? You stay there. I need your young people. I need my young people. I need Alvin Pettit Jr. Get me a couple of youngsters like you. I need find you somebody who ain't working today and get them on the feed. I might need to bounce some off them. The Bengals beat breaks off the Dolphins, and Jaguars beat the Broncos. I can't stand the Jaguars, and I can't stand the Broncos. So I don't like neither one of them. The Cardinals got beat by Falcons, and the Texans beat the Raiders. Steelers won. I just love Mike Tomlin. I like Mike Tomlin, and I wanted the Ravens to win, but the Ravens did not want to win. So that was that. But the Rockets kind of pissed me off a little bit. Been pissing me off. They've been having 30, 20-point leads and 17-point leads and letting these sorry teams come back and beat them. Like Sacramento. Y'all, Sacramento. Let me give you their record. Sacramento beat the Rockets last night by 1 point, right? Their record is 7-22. And the Rockets let them beat them. He said the Patriots are back. He said, I ran into Al Feast at Home Depot last week, and I asked him, do he listen to the Chop Shop? He said sometime, but he doesn't want to relive the 2 alley-oops that you threw me. Hey, man. Hey, man, leave a Feast alone, man. Leave a Feast alone. Hey, man, you dunked on him a couple times, man. Yeah. Boy, quit bringing back up that old stuff. But that was good, though. That was good, though. Let's see. The Spurs beat the Wizards. Timberwolves beat the Bucks. Po Bucks. Doc, they're gonna find my boy Doc. The Knicks, man, this dude, this dude, Jalen Brunson, he did something last night, y'all. He did something about last night. He dribbled the ball out his feet. Could have cost him the game. He was hurting. It was tired. It was hurting. He called a timeout. Told coach, Mike, I'm calling a timeout. I'm calling it. Then came and hit the buzzer beater to win the game. Man, players don't call timeout too much. Jalen Brunson, so he was hurt. He was tired. I don't know what was happening. He said, I need a breather. I dribbled the ball out of bounds on my feet. Timeout. I don't usually do that and mess around, hit the buzzer beater to win. The Bulls scored 152 on the Hawks, but the Hawks can't play no. The Hawks got anytime you got what's the boy name on the Hawks team? I forgot his name already, man. What's the little boy name? Little short. What's his name? Let me find his name. I know y'all think I'm crazy, but sometimes I just forget these guys called Trey Young. Trey Young. Uh, sometimes they just he had 35 points though, right? He was a +2. But that team, man, the Bulls, hold up. The Bulls scored 152 points, but the Hawks scored 150. So, I mean, it is what it is. Ice Trey. And they said Ice Trey. Trey Young, yeah. But yeah, it's not, y'all got to understand. I got so many names in my head. Some of them just, they don't get there all the time. But where else I got? Where else I got to go? Some places I got to go. Let me see. Then I saw, I've never seen this before, where the box score was been taken so seriously. And I saw it. It was a press conference. Vic Schaefer, the coach at University of Texas Longhorn, he had a press conference, and Rory came in. Little Rory, the point guard, came in there, and let me show it to you. And she was disputing. She said, "Coach, I didn't have no turnover in this game. Watch this."
That ain't mine. They messed me up. I didn't have any turnover.
You sure?
So
Yeah.
who thing was that?
Whose was it?
Coach, do you remember me having a turnover? Did you have to stop and yell?
You
So,
go back to the
turn the ball over? No. I promise. Connor said he don't remember. So let's just act like that's not there.
All right, we'll figure it out. Otherwise, Rory's going to be all over me.
A few moments later.
By the way, we confirmed that it was not a turnover.
Ah! Yes!
So 10 assists, no turnovers.
Good.
We only had 8.
Games, last 3 games, 44 assists to 2 turnovers.
Ooh.
Last 4 games, last 4 games,
Yeah.
44 assists
44 to 2.
Take it
Please.
off. Please.
I thought that was cool. I thought, what high school did Rory go to? Anybody know in the I thought she was also 44 assists to 2 turnovers ratio in the last 4 games. It's absolutely ridiculous, man. Shout out to Lil Skip, Rafe Alston. He went up to Dallas and did his thing. He went up to Dallas and took care of his business. He might have didn't win the game, but he got his money. That's all I can ask. He ain't got a better team than them people. He got a little private school team that everybody can't be on. That team there that he played against, recruit from all over the country. So, but I'm glad he withstood the challenge. And I know he's gonna go back and look at that film, because I saw a couple of the plays that I wish matter of fact, I called his dad on. She played at Side Creek. Thank you, Ken Starr. Ken Starr, who are you? Ken, this ain't Ken Dean, is it? I'm just trying to figure out who's on it. Y'all share the show, everybody. I know y'all just popped on and hit the thumbs up, the algorithm. Y'all thumbs up, like all that kind of stuff, because it's about to get crazy. Side Creek. Okay, thank you, Trey. I like what she did. She said, "Hey, I don't turn over, man. Coach, look at that, man. They got to straighten that out. I did that. Somebody did that with TSU last year. And we had to get it straight. And I ain't mad at you. Said, man, I didn't have no turnover. Share the show, everybody. Oh, that's Ken Gamble. Okay, Ken Gamble. I didn't have that. Ken, I hate I couldn't get that information for you. Shout out there. I well, I just saw it on social media. I don't know how true it is, but they said that Bryce Grigg would be able to. Let me tell you exactly what it said. I didn't even write it down. Would be able to play college basketball now. Shit, and rightfully so. The rest of these people doing it. What's the boy named Tobias? Yeah, he had wrote it. Let me see what it said. because I wanted to make sure y'all had the information in case y'all didn't. I don't know how true it is. I haven't talked to Bryce, but he said this 3 days ago. So about 4 days ago, he said Bryce Griggs' NCAA eligibility application was finalized. He's already hearing from TCU, Ole Miss, and Maryland. His agents are superior sports, tell the Athletic. Oh, you got okay, cool. They be getting the stats wrong sometimes. I see they do. But shout out to Bryce. He having his chance that them other guys got a chance to do it. Thank you that somebody was smart enough to say, wait a minute. This kid, if all of these avenues was open like now, this kid wouldn't have never went to overtime elite. So shout out to Bryce. Great young man. Knew him most of his life, and glad to see and hope he make the right decision. I hope he make the right decision and the right fit. I'm gonna repeat that: the right decision and the right fit. We already figured out overtime elite wasn't the right decision. It wasn't the right fit. So sit back. I know all these people calling you. I know all these people calling, running your mouth. You go and study the right fit. Say, I can play. You study. Don't hear what they tell you. You smart enough. You're smart. You're a basketball savant. You go and say, look, hold on. The way to go look at what the point guard and the guard did from the years back. Go look, go understand the coach. Go find out who this coach is. Go find out. So, you know, it's TCU, Jamie Dixon, that one. It's Ole Miss, that what Beard is that one. It's Buzz Williams, the guy that you want to play for. You better go and find out the fit, son. And that's I'm serious, and I'm not afraid. A lot of y'all. No, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. Find out the fit. Go study that thing. Wait a minute. Ole Miss is a mess down there. I'm just reading up on somebody just sent me some stuff back. You remember when the coach came on here and corrected the player the other day? Hold on. Ole Miss. Oh, wait a minute. What's the coach name for Ole Miss? Beard. Hold up. Coach Beard. Hold up, man. And he corrected the boy. Let me see. Watch this, y'all. This.
How do you fix lack of effort? It seems pretty obvious, but like, is that something you can foster as teammates and stuff, or like, how do you develop that urgency? I suppose.
I mean, you can't really do too much.
Yeah, we can. We can play different players.
Yeah.
We can play different players. That's what we did in the second half, where we won the second half by 7 points. We can play different players. We can fix effort, and it will be fixed.
How do you fix lack of effort? It seems pretty obvious, but like, is that?
Ladies and gentlemen, somebody sent me a thing, said, that guy, AJ Store, they said, you have been benched. Ole Miss has pretty much played their entire roster against North Carolina State. Most of the starters beside Malik Dia have not seen the floor in the second half. That man was not playing with that boy up there. That's why he interrupted him. Bryce, if that's the kind of coach you want to play for, understand that might happen. Y'all got to look at this stuff. I know I can't listen, I can't give y'all, I can't do it all for you. Do your homework. Don't just go for who offering you money. That's what overtime did. All money ain't good money. Barry McDonald. Better know go well. Coach gonna look out for you. Because on college campuses, things ain't gonna go right all the time. but he gonna treat me right. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad. Let me move on. Hey, let me talk about the high school football stuff. Hold on. Let me see. I think I took some notes about high school football. I'm not gonna do you like that, Rod Wells, because I know you was up there and you had high school football playoff. In the conference 6A Division One division, North Shore defeated Duncan Hill. Duncanville, 10-7, earning the Mustangs sixth state title and their first since 2021. The game marked the sixth state championship meeting between the two programs since 2018 and they remained scoreless through the first half before North Shore scored the only points it would need in the second half. But the final championship game that featured DeSoto High School versus C. King High School in the conference of 6A Division II title, DeSoto routed King 55, put the speed limit on, 55-27 to secure its third championship in 4 seasons and 4th overall. The Eagles overcame a 0-2 start to the season. I didn't realize that. And finished the playoffs with one of the most dominant performances in the championship week. And then also Dallas Oak Cliff claimed the Conference 5A Division II championship Saturday, beating Richmond Randall. I don't know how much they beat them by, but Randall. But that coach for DeSoto, he was hot. Watch this. What his name? What's the coach name? DeSoto. Watch this.
How would you assess this effort?
Not good enough. Not good enough. I know we got 48 points, but they shouldn't have 21 points, and I'm not happy whatsoever, especially with making mental busts. A team like this, you continue to make mental busts, they can't come back on us, so I'm not happy at all.
Dylan Mitchell, he's deadly in the return game. How do you contain him in the final 24?
Don't kick the ball to him. Kick the ball out of bounds. I mean, we told him, do not kick it to number one. We went over all week in practice, and he kicked it to number one. I don't get it. I don't get it. I would never kick it to number one. But we did, so we'll be all right.
Moving on. All right, Sarad Baker, I know he had the flu earlier in the week. How is he? What percentage is he health-wise? What should we expect in the final 24?
He's probably about 75% right now. He is. He tired, weak, fighting through it right now, like the young man he is. All our young men are picking him up right now. But heck, we got one more.
So Dylan Mitchell, that's the kid Jimmy must have been talking about the other day. The wide receiver. Now I know about it. Hold up. Now I know he bad. That coach said, "Oh, kick it to number one." And evidently they took it to number one and he took it to the house. He said, pick the right coach and the fit for you, not the amount of money. Thank you, Michael Cunningham. That's a guy who should know. Mike, we have one of the most, Mike, we had this kid I'm talking about named Bryce Grigg. A few years back in high school, Mike, you couldn't get in his high school basketball game. It was the event that everybody wanted to be. The fire marshal used to come. They had people stand outside. They couldn't get in. Because he was going, you're going to miss a 50 piece, right? The kid went off and, went off to overtime elite. Things didn't go well down there. Things happened. And, he was in a hiatus, Mike. But then, this thing that started happening, that people going to the G League and going from overseas to pros overseas, getting paid coming over here. And then what about our domestic players? Somebody said, okay, so Bryce, I guess he explored that opportunity and now he got a chance to come back and play college basketball, something that I wanted to him to always play college basketball. And I'm glad he got a chance to do it. Mike, I don't know if you see, I got this T-shirt. This hoodie. It said HBCUs influence everything. I know you went to Rice, but I know you love Tennessee State too. So I just wish y'all can feel the material. And it comes from the ALC collection, the Anthony Lawrence collection. You can get your hoodies or your T-shirts, whatever. I can't wait to go skiing in this. What else I got? What else I got, everybody? Let me keep going down the things instead of. I got a question. Got a question. Got a question. Y'all help. I got this dilemma. Got this dilemma. It's Christmas time, right? It's near Christmas time. Chris Brown and Donny Hathaway both sang the song this Christmas. Which one is your favorite? That's why I needed my young people here on here too. Which one is your favorite? I wish I can play them, but they copywritten songs. I can't play them on the air live. If you get a chance, go in the background and just play a little Donny Hathaway. And I'm torn because I like both of them. I like both of them. I can't. I've been loving Donny for so long. And I read an article. Y'all got to understand. Do anybody know what I'm talking about? He said Donny. Brian Weefall said Weefall. See, that's what I like. You said Donny. But ladies and gentlemen, keep going. I want to know. See, Eric said that's a tough one. Eric, I'm torn. Hey, Derek Hope. How you like my sweatshirt? But can I read something to y'all? Can I read something? Let me read something. This Christmas is somebody said it's the official Christmas song of Black America. Okay? All right. If you disagree, some people say you're just wrong. In fact, if somebody said, if I walk up to you and say, shake a hand, and you don't know what I'm talking about, this guy who wrote this article said they're assuming that you the feds. But there is a debate, y'all, out here, which version of the song is superior. And I don't like that. That's just people. They brought me into this mess. Chris Brown, 2007, covered the record for the black for this Christmas movie, and it shared, and Donny Hathaway released it in 1970, everything. But because people, let me see, I like it. Does he have any PV apparel? Yes. Go check it out. I think they got some PV stuff. Yes. But they doing a big layout for TSU. But they've already had some PV. I think he got PV stuff. I think. Take a look at it. Alabama State, North Carolina, what's that? North Carolina Central, Texas Southern, North Carolina A&T were all very nice HBCU programs, not to include Southern Howard and others. Absolutely, Mike. Absolutely. Hey, HBCUs influence everything. But Derek, check this out, Derek. Because people who make the argument that Breezy's, Chris Brown, they call him Breezy, a virgin is superior, are usually born after black folks that were wearing thugged out bones Bugs Bunny t-shirts. They said the temptation is not to take them serious, but let's, say what you want about the man who made the record. To be fair, Chris Brown was 18-year-old kid when he made his record. And I wish I could play it. I love it. He may be annoying. He may have gotten into the fight with Rihanna, but I'm finding out that she whooped him a little bit more. Finding out. But that man can sing. Chris Brown version of This Christmas kind of bangs. It was sickly produced. It was perfect a song rendition of the song that was full of swagger. And it came out during the time in Chris Brown's career when he was still a babyface pretty boy, who did not have the baggage that he has now, right? So they just going back and forth. So yeah, Chris Brown is cold. You know, I don't like what he did to the girl, but he cold. But ladies and gentlemen, somebody, I got some NBA stuff I want to talk about. I got some men's college basketball. I got some grassroots transfer portal stuff I want to talk about. I got some TSU play tonight. WNBA. I think I finally know what the WNBA players want in CBA negotiations. I think I do. I got that for you. I got HBCU, the Grambling State. Grambling went and won the Chris Paul Classic. Let me see what else I got. Yeah, they trying to mess my stuff up here. Chris Paul. What else I got? Great, yeah, Grambling. Let me see. Let me put that up there. Grambling State goes undefeated in the 2 Toyota Chris Paul HBCU Championship Classic. What else? Ed Cooley. I want to talk about him. Oh, we're getting an agenda today. I know I might not get. Yeah. You know how this is what I love about this show. We can do whatever the hell we want to do. We got who else I got? I might talk about Ed Cooley throwing the water bottle up in there and hitting the kid in the stands. A college coach from Georgetown throwing up. I talked about the play. I want to talk about Derek Queen. Remind me to talk about this young fella that they talking about Joe. What is his name? Joe Dumars shouldn't have drafted. Shouldn't have gave all them draft picks up. But I'm gonna show you some things about the NBA if I get a chance. I got a golf topic that I just want to bring up, and it just got to talk. How can you just why you love a game that you suck so much in and people still love it? UVH Arkansas game was good. It's a pretty good game. Yep. It was a matchup between Kingston Flemings and Darius Acop, two of the top guards in the country. Reese Alston again. He had 34 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. I want to talk about that. What else I got? I can talk about that. I mean, I got so much stuff. But somebody called me yesterday. Several people called me. Anthony Munoz leading Grambling, absolutely. Grambling, oh my God. Yo, that's our first. Yo, Grambling is our first or second game. Grambling got a freshman from Chicago, Anthony Munoz. Oh my goodness. Neon freshman. I call him a neon diaper dandy. But Shanquetta. Somebody messed around and called me. Several people. I said, Robert, have you seen the Diddy documentary? Robert, have you seen it? I watched bits, piece of it. But I went back last night, ladies and gentlemen, and I watched it. If anybody done watched the Diddy documentary, I loosely watched it, but last night I watched it twice. Because somebody asked me a question. I said, Robert, what did Diddy's fall expose about America? Lakeisha, stay there, don't go nowhere. Do not touch this dial. Y'all need to be sharing this show. You need to be sharing. Mark. 5 or 6 people kept calling me. Robert, you seen it? I said, no. Then ask me the question, what did Diddy's fall expose about America. Huh. Huh. See, some people have been transfixed by the #1 rated documentary all over the world on Netflix. The Reckoning, the story of Sean P. Diddy Combs. Hold up. What? I'm going to Netflix right now in front of me right here. I'm just going to the Netflix, right? So when I push on Netflix, right, they got, watch this, they got Dave Chappelle, then they got Sean Combs, The Reckoning. Now it's #4. Shoot, somebody beat him. I'm gonna tell you, David Chappelle done got him. David Chappelle show, and then Emily in Paris, now Sean. But let me get back to my regular schedule. Ladies and gentlemen, somebody told me to talk about it, y'all. Can I indulge y'all for a minute? Mark, can I indulge you for a minute? And ladies and gentlemen, this is not going to be a Siskel and Ebert. I told my partner and his woman last night, this is not going to be one of those evaluation. Well, I'm a thumbs up, thumbs down. I had to go find and use some stuff from some people, right? Thank you. But I ain't talking about the Chappelle show today. Simon, one of the things, me watching this show, and I knew, I told you when I went to a friend of mine's house, they tried to get me to watch it, I didn't watch it. But these people kept calling me last night, and so I had to watch it, and I watched it twice. And then I watched it a little bit and then fell asleep. So I watched it 2 times, then fell asleep on the last, but I guess subconsciously I was listening to it. But one of the things that is evident to me, Mark Batchelor, is that Sean Combs hates women. I'm going to say Sean Combs, because you remember my question. What was the question the guy asked of me? How did this, hold up, let me go back, I'm going to show y'all how consistent I want to be. I want to show y'all. What's up there, Dr. 3? Gary Carter. The question was asked to me, Gary Carter, what did Diddy's fall expose about America? I'm not talking about the Diddy show. What did his fall expose about America? Somebody made me think. And I said, shit, what? And I said, it's evident to me that Sean Combs hate women. And I'm going to even say Sean Combs hate women as much as America does. Dr. 3, I know you didn't expect this from the Chop Shop, a sports talk show, but the Chop Shop was derived from being in the barbershop, chopping it up. This something that I know they chopping it up in the barbershop about Diddy. But I thought about it. See, I remember a few weeks ago, right, about Jasmine Crockett was lauded and celebrated as the face of the future of the Democratic Party. Sonia, everybody was cheering, saying that this is the kind of fire and fury that we need. Sonia Billingsley and Eric Harrison, until that beautiful black woman had the audacity to put her hat in the ring and ascend to the U.S. Senate. That place I told y'all it ain't but 100 of these people on the whole planet, and they control every damn thing. You got 2 state senators from 2 states, and I just told you the other day on Women Rock Wednesday how these black women, 8 black women, about 7 or 8 black women are trying to run for Senate. I just told you. I just told you, Norris Davis. This last week. Go back last Wednesday, and I give you here. These are very important spots. So everybody was loving her until she said, forget the House of Representatives. Lakeisha, I want to ascend to the Senate. And immediately, people start dragging her down the hall by her proverbial hair, saying she too hood, too sassy. She need to be cleaned up. As if the president doesn't need to be cleaned up. As if the president speak with tact. As if the president doesn't need a coat of shellac on his dusty, busty ass. But we have seen this move before. And I'm telling y'all now, before y'all let it happen, because I'm still on Diddy. Because I'm talking about Diddy in America hating women. I'm still on course right here. Watch this. Saying, ain't no way. Listen, watch it. Let me go. I seen this move before. Y'all know. I was out in California. Y'all know I was in the phone bank doing everything, giving money, doing everything for Kamala Harris, right? This is the exact same posture people had butchering Kamala Harris a year ago when she was running for president, saying, ain't no way I can stand with her. Watch this. Watch this. Y'all, I got y'all. Y'all gonna be the smartest people in the nail shop and the smartest people at the haircut place and getting your hair fixed. Coach Kamala Harris, she put people in jail. That's what there's some dudes told me that personally. And it's amazing that a year later, nobody is saying anything about the countless thousands of undocumented people that some of y'all friends who are finding themselves in concentration camps. That nobody is discussing this, that they are being paid $1 a day in those immigration camps for doing labor. Ladies and gentlemen, that's slavery. Kamala Harris, she locked some people up. Donald Trump putting them in concentration camp. But on top of that, it costs $5 just to make a phone call out of there. Alfio. It costs $5 just to make a phone call out of the concentration camp. So these people had to work 5 days just to make a phone call. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the price tag behind private prisons. I asked my investment people months ago, man, don't have me invested in no private prisons. I don't want my portfolio having anything to do with that. I don't care how much money you say I might lose. No, it's not going to happen. And yet nobody's pushing against it. Nobody have never said nothing to me on it. Y'all, I had some friends of mine. Man, I can't vote for that. Joe and the hoe must go. Nobody pushing against it. But I want the same voices that pushed against Kamala Harris. You know who you are. To say something about this, Mark. Is nobody gonna say nothing, Mark? That the president last week was giving the Ethiopian community 60 days to evacuate the country? Nobody gonna say nothing. That the president said by February the 1st, 350,000 Haitians are going to have to remove themselves from this nation. So much easier for us to belittle and berate a black woman than to hold a white racist president accountable. Hey, them people that I just mentioned, they look like you. They look like you, King Sticks. They look like you, Mark Basham. Two times, twice, the grand jury has refused to indict Letitia James in New York because they said that the charges are unfounded, and yet we won't stand behind her. We forget that the congresswoman in New Jersey, McIver, who was arrested in her own district for wanting to check on the welfare of those being accused of accosted by ICE. She was just checking on her constituents. ICE, to me, formerly known as Ku Klux Klan. But we say nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, in case you're just tuning in, I was talking about somebody asked me a question. They said, Robert, what did Diddy's fall? Because they asked, have you seen the reckoning video? You ain't talked about it on the show. What did Diddy's fall expose about America? I'm talking about Diddy's fall in America right now. I'm juxtaposing some stuff, so just follow me. And I said, one of the things was evident when I watched this thing 2 times in a row last night, that Sean Combs hate women. Got to. I'm going to even say, I'm going to repeat what I said. I'm going to even say he hates women as much as America does. So this is what I'm talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, do y'all know, and I'm going to get to some sports. I got a lot of sports for you. Did y'all know that if you attacked a bald eagle, you'd have a penalty and a fine? Yeah. If you try to kill a rhinoceros or a hippo, you'll find yourself behind prison bars. Did y'all know that? But if you saw a black woman by her name, her character, and even about her fire and her intelligence, you get promoted here in America. You get your own show. So maybe when it is that we see the reckless abuse as enacted by Sean Combs, y'all, I'm sitting there watching him. This in real time. He filming himself. So this is our reckoning. That was the name of it, the reckoning. It's not a reckoning around, this is our reckoning. This is not a reckoning around one hip hop mogul. It's a reckoning around a system and a society, and might I say, a sanctuary that has allowed this kind of stuff to happen. Ladies and gentlemen, and let me help you. There are 16 different forms of abuse. 16. And we only seem to focus on one, which is physical. But how much abuse have our sisters had to undertake? I'm just sitting there watching them girls talk. That man, baby, it's going to be hard for me to forgive him. The way he treated that little somebody's daughter in the hallway, grabbing and beating on that little girl. And I rewinded and I rewinded. She just sit there after he done kicked her. She just sit there in a daze like, I got caught. I should have went down the stairs. What the hell I'm doing waiting on this elevator? Y'all got to go back. Y'all, this, it got to me. How casually he came out and beat that's somebody's daughter. We not only have a reckoning, we not only have to have a reckoning, us, we also need restoration. See, reckoning is an accounting term. All you accountants out there, reckoning is an accounting term that you got to line up books, right? See, the name of his show is called The Reckoning. The name of, what's the boy name 50 Cent did, it's called The Reckoning. You got to line up the books. You got to see what the cost is and what's due and how it's going to balance out. America's in line for a reckoning. But it's not going, listen, it's going to take more than 4 parts. That's what that show was, 4 parts. And it needs to be more than on Netflix. The reckoning, if we're going to give account, is what's due to Black people. See, y'all don't talk about this much, but somebody just brought it. They be bringing it to my attention, and I just don't understand. And I'm trying to see. Every time, don't nobody never bring it up. Nobody don't like to bring it up. They don't like to bring it up in Congress. They don't like to know it. We got 56 people, Black people, in the Black Caucus. And nobody never like to bring it up. And I never bring it up. Because I have to study some more. Maybe I just need to know some more about it. But how is it that we're the only sect in this country that doesn't get reparations? Did y'all know that? And I'm going to talk about Henderson showing out in Miami. I'm going to talk about, I already talked about Bryce Cape Griggs, but after your visa, put something else up there. I'm going to talk about it in a minute because I'm about to close. Ladies and gentlemen, the Koreans have received it. The Jewish community has received it. But nothing, not a dime, has been given to our community. They try to take things away from us. I know you don't like it, but Malcolm X said, it's the chickens coming home to roost. It's a reckoning. Y'all, we are called a restoration, man. The first segment of that document, Mark, the series was titled Love versus Pain. Somebody made a quote. People raised by manipulation will never understand people who are raised by love. I'm going to give it to you one more time. People who are raised by manipulation will never understand people who are raised by love. They will look at you like alien life form. E.T., come home. The problem with you being a giver is that you fell in love with a taker. Boom, boom, room. Chat. You got to be very careful of these people who try to gaslight you when they don't know you run on diesel. Everything watching this video in the formative years of Puffy Combs growing up in New York after his father was brutally murdered. His childhood friend said something. He said, I don't want this to pass y'all by quick. I want this to pass. I want to pass it. He said that it was that Puffy was his childhood friend, the co-founder. This dude is the co-founder of Bad Boy Records with him. He said, I was raised by a father, taught me how to ride a bike, taught me respectability, taught me honor, taught me a code of conduct. And Diddy was not. He was tasked as a prince. Diddy was. Wearing fur coats in middle school. Had access to private education. Was in fact reared and raised around house parties. And going with his mother to make drops and pick up money. But not in the affirmation, just in entitlement. See, a lot of us are doing a terrible disservice to our kids. See what happens? The people mess around and ask me this question. If you're just tuning on, somebody asked me a question. They said, Robert, what did Diddy's fall expose about America? This is what it's exposing. We give a terrible disservice to our kids. Someone said something that was that I want to give to you. Somebody said something I want to give to you. They said, I forgot who it was. They said, we raise our daughters and we spoil our sons. Man, I wish I had somebody listening with me. Boy, I wish I had somebody listening with me and say something. Is anybody out there? He said, we raise our daughters and we spoil our sons. He said, we make our daughters have responsibility around the house. We give them chores. We have expectations for them in academics and how they carry themselves and how they are safeguard their sexuality and how allow our sons to just play video games, be served by his other siblings, and by the mother. I'm going to stop right there. That's all I'm going to give y'all today. And I'm going to give y'all another part of it tomorrow. Just stop right there. Hey, I got something else for you tomorrow. I'm gonna put a pin in that one right there. That's a good place to stop. I'm gonna bring Jimmy in. Jimmy, you know about the Diddy documentary and why I ain't never said nothing about it on the show. And Robert, Robert, you got to bring it up. Man, it's like we talking about it in the barbershop. We talking about it in the nail shop. Why we ain't talking about it in the chop shop? So I just gave him some, and I'm going to give him the rest tomorrow. So I'm just come on in. We ain't talking about, I've dibbled and dabbed in all the sports. I talked about the Rockets. I talked about the Texans. I talked about even your high school. I gave the count of your high school. I gave the count. I even rehashed you talking about trying to get the coach fired now. You're trying to get the coach for C. King fired because he decided to bring the kids up there one day early. So
No, I ain't trying to get him fired.
No, but you said something negative about him.
I'm not trying to get him fired.
You said
I say accountability does not quantify getting somebody fired.
What does accountability mean?
Meaning you got to come and say, I fucked up. That's what you got to say. And sometimes, it's my fault. Guys, this one's on me. Don't players do it all the time. They miss a bucket. My bad, coach. My bad. Okay, sometimes.
But what if he don't think it's on him?
Okay, whoever it is, I said it. Whoever it is, need to say my bad. My bad. That one on me. That's what I'm saying. That's where accountability, and people emulate whom they idolize. So if kids look up to whoever it was that's responsible, then they would know how easy
Why
it
the
is
kids
to say,
so the kids should be worried about that?
no. One day when kids pay attention to that, kids, remember, kids don't go in the other room when grown folk talking no more. Kids stay in the room, they over in the corner ear hustling. So kids hear parents talking and hear relatives talking and blaming, because everybody that lose is going to blame somebody or some things in the universe. So that means now, once again, kids would take those empty calorie conspiracy theories and run with them.
So that's
but
why
if
I
a
wouldn't
kid
blame the coach. That's why I wouldn't blame nobody.
it,
I wouldn't blame
okay,
them.
I didn't say
The
hold on.
speed limit
I
put
did
up.
not one time say the coach. I say whomever, Hatter. I say whomever it was. That's why I left it blank. It's a blank check. Whomever it was, write your name on
Excuse me.
that check and
Well,
cash it.
you weren't saying it. Other people was telling me that too.
Well, that's okay. They got ain't nothing with me. Could you just bundle us all together? Don't bundle that. I know what I say. I say whomever it was, they need to be held accountable. They'll hold themselves accountable, because as you can see now, that
didn't tell me they lost the game.
But that did not put them in a greater chance to win. That's all it does. It don't mean you're gonna win if you go stay 4 days in advance. But it goes and prove that the odds are surely now. And there's been teams that have driven and did the same day travel before.
I've called about that. They have.
So now, but guess what? Guess what?
And won.
Those teams that done that, it wasn't, and from Houston that won, it wasn't their first time going. You see what I'm saying? So it makes a difference, Hal. It makes a difference when you go somewhere and say, you know what, I ain't bringing y'all ass back here the night before next year.
Hey,
and that's
you must don't realize how good DeSoto is. DeSoto was whooping them boys. It doesn't matter.
No.
Let me talk. I just let you talk. DeSoto was whooping them boys so bad that the coach said, the coach was mad that he said, listen, see, that's what y'all don't understand. The coach for DeSoto, the team that put this speed limit on him, he said, man, I told this dude not to kick this ball to number 1. And he kicked it to him anyway. He said, man, in other words, hold on. Let me play the coach. Because I don't want to hear all that stuff y'all talking about. Watch the coach.
Effort.
Not good enough. I know we got 48 points, but they shouldn't have 21 points, and I'm not happy whatsoever, especially with making mental busts. A team like this, you continue to make mental busts, they can't come back on us, so I'm not happy at all.
Dylan Mitchell, he's deadly in the return game. How do you contain him in the final 24?
Don't kick the ball to him. Kick the ball out of bounds. I mean, we told him, do not kick it to number 1. We went over all week in practice.
King went over everything in practice, but when you get out there on the field, it don't matter.
That's what I'm talking about. Had nothing to do with DeSoto. It has zero to do with DeSoto. It's zero to do with them.
I like to look at it on that side. You like to look at it on the pessimistic side.
That's reading the book backwards.
No,
you got to the end of the
book.
No.
I read it Thursday.
He hadn't ran down back. The score wasn't 55-27 on Thursday. It was 0-0. So that means you're reading the book backwards. It was 0-0 on Thursday. And on Thursday, everybody who had made every decision had felt they had made the right decision in preparation. Everybody on
still
Thursday.
Go out there and don't do the game.
And guess what? And then after as many games, you realize we see it all the time in different sports. Your scout wasn't right. So part of your scout was your travel. Part of your scout is what you're eating. Part of your scout is how you're going to go into the game prep. Part of your scout is that. That's part of the scout.
Jimmy,
you're scouting your own player.
Jimmy, don't you know that Sam Houston scouted USC, but still got beat by 1,000?
Dude, understand something. In your scout, if you put yourself at any type of deficiency, right? Any type of thing that's understand.
We've talked about this before.
dude, I spoke with board members of Sheldon ISD about this issue. So I got all the facts I need right now. I know exactly where it come from. Exactly where remember I said, I know.
Listen,
I'm
I
not
don't
gonna
care
put them up
how
on the
much
bus. I
information
know.
you got. I'm
I
telling
got
you how
I
felt
got it
about
from I got it from the room from the meeting.
Excuse me. I'm telling you how I felt about it. I
That
don't
ain't got
care
nothing to
what
do.
they
But
felt.
but my main thing was what was to get the understanding. See, just getting the answer to the question doesn't help you next time that question comes about with different variables. Sometimes you got to check, understand how that answer come about. Then you can respect it or you not. But at least you have a person that's accountable. That's the part. I know from what happened when the decision was made. And that decision wasn't made just the other day. It was made a week, 2 weeks ago. When it was presented for them to go and stay overnight in Waco, the football team. The coach did not want to stay overnight in Waco. Now, I'm not going to give you the reason, but his reason he didn't want to stay overnight in Waco, which is 3 hours instead of 4 hours, right? So for that reason, he damn sure didn't want to go stay overnight in Dallas, which Dallas, once again, it's a greater, stakes are greater. It's the whole ambiance of getting those kids to experience and to just change it. It worked for them the week before in Waco, going 3 hours. But my thing is looking back on it, now I can play Monday morning quarterback or read the book backwards, however you want to phrase it, is that in Waco, the difference was both teams traveled a couple of hours to get to that game in Waco. That wasn't like that you went to, and those kids had the opportunity to sleep right down the street from there, and parents had the opportunity to sleep in their own beds and whatnot. Just the mental effect, because it's just so many different things, Howard. When you're traveling on those buses like that, did you take up the kid's cell phone? That means they still had access to the world wide web, to the social media, which is one of the reasons why the kid from North Shore got sent home 5-6 years ago because of his cell phone. So while you riding on that bus that morning, it's game day. You're not like you're at hotel and they say, everybody give me your cell phones. Let's go. On the bus, they got the cell phones. At some point, yes, you take them up at some point, but those things matter for the mental aspect of it. And that's the reason. I'm just saying, somebody, I guarantee you, I'm speaking to the boy, I guarantee you that would never, ever happen if C. King make it to state in football again. I guarantee you that part. So that part I put on the great note. So you don't have to worry about that. I spoke with the people when one of the person have a gavel directly, not hearsay, and asked all the right questions.
But I wasn't mad at him. I see you
No,
spent
Howard. They
you
were
spent too much time
no, let me tell you
about
something.
doing something that you ain't got.
They are
What
livid.
you got to do with it?
What do you mean what they got to do with
You
it?
asking all these questions.
Because Howard, I'm a homeowner in Sheldon, in Parkway Forest and Sheldon ISD.
So what?
That's what you mean what they got to do with it. My tax dollars go over there for years. What you mean? What do you mean?
So that means you got the
that means I got concern. That means that's like asking me if I lived in DeSoto and I'm mad about DeSoto. What you mad about DeSoto? Well, that's part of your community. So that was my primary residence. My homestead was in Parkway Forest.
I just don't get it. I just don't get it.
Yeah, that's what that means. Understand that was Memphis news. Hey, Howard, what you worry about Memphis news from? But guess what? Because you have a vested interest in that program.
But I'm not finna go do all of that.
If you want to know what the hell going on, want to get answers,
I ain't.
And you don't know.
I don't want to know.
When you want answers with Memphis, guess what you do? You have long called the coach.
You know why I don't want it? Because I don't get paid there. Them guys' job on Jimmy. That's their job. That ain't my job. And I've said that to them a lot of times. That ain't my job.
Alan, got one question for you. This past spring, that same number one you just mentioned on the video a while ago, And that was worth me getting that. That's why I said before I went there, I just want to have the opportunity to see him run one back or get the ball in open field. And that's the price of the admission right there. And I got to see that. I was good with anything else. I didn't care about anything else because North Shore had already won the state championship before then. I was good with that. And I take that one home back to the northeast side. Now, when that kid made it to the state, he got fourth in the track meet, Dylan Mitchell, as a freshman last year, in the fastest 100-meter heat to ever be ran in the history of the United States high school track. No heat has been that fast ever. Put it like this. The guy who came in second place set a national record. That means, of course, the first place did. This kid here came in fourth place as a ninth grader at the state 6A. That's the highest classification, the state track meet. We're talking about Dylan Mitchell. And Dylan Mitchell, guess what he does? He ran like a 10-1-2 or whatever it was at the state. When he went to that state track meet, why they didn't, the same ideology, he didn't go there to the same day of. He went the day before. You know why? One of the reasons is to rest those legs and to get your mental right. So they've been there before. You didn't take that boy and send him up there the day of. You do it at regular track meets, don't you? We go to region, we go to the other track meets. They go in track meet, if you didn't know, they go the day of, get out their warm-ups, out the bus, stretch a little bit, put some balm on, and guess what? They ready to roll. In state, why they go a day before? It's unheard of. It can be done. It's been done before. That's all I'm saying to you. So you just got to reap what you sow in that. It won't happen again.
I ain't mad at them people. I still like T King. I still like the coach. I like all of. I ain't mad, coach. I ain't mad at you. Whoever, and hold up, the person who that holds the gavel. Well, why didn't the person who holds the gavel? Why didn't they make an executive decision with their gavel holding ass?
Because it worked. It worked the week before. I asked that question. I said, why y'all didn't stop if you felt that way? They said, well, hell, it worked the week before. We knew it was a gamble, but it worked for him. Might have been some mojo that he got. Might have been some mojo. They didn't think of it. I said, we didn't think of it all the way through about all of the different variables that goes into play in that. That's, dude, Howard, when you make it, when Little League football, your son played Little League football alongside, opposite the Harrison twins. Mm-hmm. Your team, at somewhere in that league, some team made it to, they won first place. I'm assuming it probably was the Harrisons, the way that they skirted around the running rules, and you could be so many, the running quarterback couldn't run the ball and all that right there, and you did all that trickery. Well, guess what? When you make it to the Super Bowl in Little League, in all these Little League sports, they do some things at a magnified, they do some things different. Meaning that if you ate CC's pizza, then you're going to upgrade your pizza that you're going to eat. You might eat Star Pizza this time. Still going to have pizza. If you ate chicken wings from the wing stop, well, you might go get some, they might get wings from Hooters or something, or Two Brothers Wings and More. They might get that this time. Things are elevated as to the victors in certain things. That's all. So it's over with now. Now, meanwhile, how about them boys from the east side?
Y'all always, you know what? Y'all kill me with, y'all just kill me. With all these absolutes. You got to do this and you got to do this. And man, whoever made the decision, they made a decision. You ain't no coach. Doug, you ain't no coach. Y'all go. So all I'm saying is when a person make a decision like that, I just don't understand the visceral reactions about it. Well, it's hard to get off a bus no matter what you do. I just don't understand. I just don't understand people with these visceral reactions to something that y'all ain't got nothing to do with. You ain't playing, you ain't coaching, you just a fan. That's why I keep telling you, fan is the root word for fanatic. And you need to quit being a fanatic, man, for this stuff and just say, okay, they lost the game. They lost the game.
Decision makings come into play, and so some people, that was pregame.
But the gavel, the person you said with the gavel, who got all the stroke.
No, they got collective. Dude, I just told you that. They were concerned at first. The week before was when the decision was made.
Forget the week before. Just said, look, this time we've taken a football team. We've taken this. We ain't finna. Hold up. Since you and Doug got such great analogies about it, he should have said, well, we got away with it last week. let's not stretch it this way. I'm the one with the gavel.
Dude, sometimes when you have a gambler's mentality, and many coaches do, or a gunslinger's mentality, whatever worked for your mojo, then you guess what? I'm not gonna change the bet.
That's
The
what
bet
I
was on.
see. That's what I
So that
see.
means he took. That's what I call it. I call it a bet. So in bets are meant to be won, but most of them are lost. Remember that. Otherwise, casinos will not be in business.
Oh,
Or gambling
absolutely.
corporations will not be. So most bets are lost. It's a lost bet. Just like, for example, did you watch the North Shore game? The game before that?
No.
Okay, so here's a gallant thing that happened in the midst of this game. It was blatantly obvious North Shore went into this season, and one thing that I didn't see the first 11 o'clock game. So shout out to Dallas South Oak Cliff, man. I'm proud of that community because that's DISD. I'm proud for what I understand the hurdles that schools like that have to go against, especially when you're facing the powers that be, especially in football in the state of Texas, for an urban school to go and win a top shelf state championship in football. It's expected in basketball, but in football, or even if it was baseball, that would be crazy. Now, here's the thing. One of the things I noticed about the two 6A games, North Shore versus Duncanville, C.E. King versus DeSoto. 3 of those schools had something in common, and didn't just start. You went to a North Shore game with me out a couple of years ago, and back-to-back years we went to a couple of games. One of the things that North Shore has a string of, and that's part of their culture now. It seems like many black football programs are having no problem sliding over to the soccer field and getting one of those guys to come as the place kicker on their teams. We saw a Hispanic or a young student athlete of Latin origin was the North Shore kicker years ago. Now they had one this particular year, and he was an MVP. Not necessarily the MVP that's awarded by that went to number 5. We'll talk about him later. But that kicker was an MVP because his extra point and his field goal actually proved to be the margin of victory in that game. DeSoto has Hispanics. They have a soccer team. Obviously, they did not feel the need or the compelled enough to go get a soccer player who could benefit their football team in the aspect the way it would come down to a money-making play or game time play or they consented in overtime, that player would have served his value. Instead, that decision, that coach called his last time out long before it came down to that last play, a couple of plays before it, Hatter. He called his final, and when he called his final timeout, it was known he ain't playing to kick no field goal. He's trying to play to win the game. He ain't thinking about let's go and spin this thing in overtime. Right? So he made a decision, which was obviously that was on. It wasn't like who made that decision. That was obviously because the head coach's decision. Now, my point is, you make decisions, you hold yourself accountable. Now, what DeSoto Duncanville has to do, like DeSoto, they have a little kid named Flores. Flores was kicking he might have scored damn near more points than C.E. King did. Flores was kicking all day for DeSoto because they scored all day, all night. And C.E. King had a kicker, right? And now their punter was the basketball kid, Damon DeFries, but their kicker was a good player of Latin descent. And that's the thing that I'm saying for DeSoto. That means how could you come into this season and not have a field goal kicker in place with your winning ways in that program that you did not feel comfortable that he can kick a 30-yard field goal?
You mean Duncanville, right?
Duncanville. Okay. Duncanville. That's what I meant. Okay. That's the thing with Duncanville. So that's an easy call. That coach probably didn't tell it all, but that's on me. I bet you he's gonna be walking the hallways, finding their soccer kicker in 11th grade right now with a good leg, checking out their toes, see who's going to be his goal toe next year, because you felt you were going to whoop everybody's ass, that you wasn't going to need no field goal kicker that could cause the outcome of the state championship game, but you came down to it and you needed one and you didn't have. And the moral of that story is it's better to need and not have than to have and not. It's better to have and not need than to need and not have. Sorry about that. And that's the thing on Duncanville High School. So that's it on the football play in regard to the state championship. Only other thing about it, the only other flaw is the abundance of fights. That's fights every year at one of those things, pretty much a fight. It just was the abundance and the multitude of multi-person squabbles, meaning that they'll be labeled as brawls. Meaning you got a number of kids, 4 or more brawling, fighting at the same time. It's like a brawl. So they had multiple those, and that's caused a lot of people concerned from a lot of families, people that bring kids. You got senior citizens that are rolling around there in wheelchairs, people that are having their elders, their great grandparents are coming to watch their grandbabies or great grandbabies play some of their last high school football games. That becomes a health concern. So when you start talking about safety, that's what it does, because some of those kids could have easily rolled over and trampled some of those elderly that was walking in the corridors. The thing on that, I say it like this. People say, oh man, Jerry ain't gonna like that. Well, guess what? I guess my take is kind of different, because I'm one of those proponents of, the AT&T Stadium is a great venue, but it ain't the AT&T Stadium. It's just that at some point, I feel that it would be more parity if they could find a way to move that thing around. It doesn't have to. I get it. The people at NRG, I get it. They're not really, the upper management or ownership that is, they're not really enthused or welcoming the high school spectrum in their place. Because a lot of times, some of the locker rooms, some of the walls get scarred up, as you guys don't know. Pretty much every year or every other year when the state tournament is going on in Dallas, the Cowboys are playing the next day, like they played yesterday at home. So that's really an inconvenience from a lot of those people and staffers and whatnot to put stuff in place that's normally in place on Thursday for that Sunday game. So don't get it twisted. They're not happy. Then you get these squabbles. If they have enough of these squabbles, then guess what? I bet they ain't gonna have no choice but to move it or makes rules so strict that let me see what you say there.
Okay, go.
Yeah, one player got shot and killed, the best DB, got kicked, got locked up. Everybody else says, "Oh, yeah."
But Jimmy,
That's
what can they do? What can they do to stop fights?
Well, one of the things, I was listening to people. Now I talked to people and heard people venting before, during, and after. One is they can.
Sides?
But that's one. Here's the thing with it. One flaw in UIL, which you can control. They had the North Shore was on one side, Duncanville was on the other side. And in the night game, they know those teams are from the same districts. You know that most of DeSoto is going to stay to watch the first half at least of Duncanville, going to watch DeSoto. And most of North Shore going to stay there and get their money's worth and watch some of the Sea King before they hit the road. Well, I think what happened is they must have felt that those schools had too much bad blood in it being district foes to put them on the same side. So they call themselves separating them. So you know what I'm saying? I don't want Duncanville to sit with DeSoto because there might be some problems already. We don't need them problems. They already was halfway squabbling. You got to get extra security when they play anyway in the districts. Ditto for Sea King and North Shore. They're not friendly neighbors. Don't get it twisted. Now, when they going up against H-Town, it's all South Side Dallas. I saw some great, pretty looking sweaters and hoodies and whatnot. They band together when they going against H-Town. But when they playing against each other, they can't stand each other. So I get it from the UIL standpoint. They made an attempt to separate people that grew up with some of each other, that don't like each other, that could be sitting there and don't need nothing but an itch to rehash some old beef. So that's what they did. They separated. Well, here's what happened, Howard. After the North Shore game, A lot of people like myself go up into the corridor and you know and go to use the restroom, get a bottle of water, shake a couple of hands. But then you see all those kids. It's like, oh my God, I can't. I'm trying. But I went up there to go that between those games because I found out they had one of them charging stations. Think about it. It's the AT&T Stadium. So they have two of those little booths, which is kind of cool. It ain't like the Texans where you got to put your phone in and you can leave it there and let it charge. You walk away, put it in a little compartment. Where the AT&T in the stadium, they have a little thing and it's free. You just got to give them your either your card or your Apple Pay for a deposit. And this deposit is on hold. They don't take it from you. And you take the little charger with you. And that thing can charge up 2-3 cell phones. It's going to charge for 2 hours. So I went to go find that and get one of them to go back and sit down. Now I'm good. I ain't had to worry about, how I'm going to get my juice after the game. So this is where one of the things they could do. They could have the kids, no kid under 8, no student can be allowed without parental guidance, meaning without an adult, you cannot enter without an adult. Now you can go to the restroom, whatnot, but they know you accounted for when you come into the building. You had an adult supervision. They can't stop you from going to go use the restroom. Your parent got to walk you to the restroom. No, that's too much. That's too much. But that's one of the things they can do. And I'm not mistaken. Somebody told me that in one of the sports, that's definitely what a rule that's in effect. How do you know one ticket gets you to all 3 games? There are people that was in that thing from 11 o'clock in the morning to 11 o'clock at night watching football. Didn't leave.
I thought you said they had to leave out.
I thought it was like that. Because in basketball, they do a sweep.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
I thought so. I was just thinking at UIL, and that's another thing. They might have to sweep it. That's a lot of sweeping, though. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of sweeping, man, to get 20,000, 30,000 people out
yeah,
in order to come back in. That's a headache that they probably felt the greater good was to do. I didn't realize that. And then you could go out and come back in. You go out and come back in. Now, I don't know if you're supposed to go out and come back in, but you can go out and come back in. Trust me, I know. So that's the thing. They have to figure it out. My thing is, guess what? I'm not mad. Keep fighting. If that's what y'all want to do, keep fighting.
No, stop.
Keep fighting. They have to move that thing. They keep fighting. That's what I'm saying. Keep fighting then. Keep on fighting. That's how we get that thing up out of Dallas then. I bet they don't have no choice then. They'll do something. They'll shrink. See, remember, if one of the reasons that the UIL used because the attendance dropped, when the thing came to Houston back in maybe 2015, that was a year out of that the Dallas Cowboys had a home game and there was a discrepancy and they didn't know it. So they had to move the game to Houston on a whim, on a humbug, with basically no marketing in that thing for the outside community. Some people that don't really love or follow high school football would probably have went had they known, and then it had to be the right teams. I don't remember what teams were there that year, but it wasn't no urban flavor to that year for Houston. Now, I do remember that. So that means that those teams wasn't like the same. Now, the attendance was down. So if the attendance down is a reason that you don't want to bring it back on the UIL side. Now, we know about the NRG side. They don't really want you back. Understand? But it's still, though, everybody got a price if you want to be somewhere. Everybody got a price. Because, understand, like I said, the locker rooms, some people may scrape the walls, some people may do this, and then they say, no, don't bring them back. Forget that. Because it's hard to get all those in and out, shoulder pads here, brushing up against the wall, scraping up paint here and there, somebody hitting the wall. Football, people going to get aggressive in the locker rooms. You done throw this on this and the water this, and you got to clean up on this. You got this. So guess what? That's the ticket on that. So that's, other than that, for Seed King, as the coach said, they played 12, about a dozen 10th graders in the flow of that game. I ain't talking about in garbage time. I'm talking about in the regular flow of the game. They're very young And everybody use that excuse when you get your ass whooped. I always say it in basketball, everybody young when they lose. But I like their trajectory compared to other schools in the district, you know, and we don't know what the district is going to look like because they have realignment coming in early February. That means we will learn the new districts that these teams have to play in. That's not going to affect Duncanville and DeSoto much. It's not expected to. But unless DeSoto is, because DeSoto is going to always be Division 2 in 5A. They're never going to be Division 1. And teams like North Shore, I didn't learn this about North Shore, Hal. You know, I love little tidbits, I call them. All 22 offensive and defensive starters from North Shore High School, state champions. None of them were starters a year ago.
Oh, okay.
That's remarkable. All 22 of them were first year starters, you know, as far as regularity.
Yeah.
That is impressive. Willie Gaston, man, that's great job at your alma mater, you know, where the superintendent was his school teacher or his coach back in
Gaston
middle
used to
school.
go to North Shore?
Yeah, he was a star. He was a star there.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. That's good.
Yeah. He homegrown.
That's
and
good.
like I said, and the current superintendent of the school district was his coach in middle school.
You know the thing I hate that Port Arthur didn't go. Port Arthur Memorial didn't go. Because of that teacher, that principal. She wanted to be there so bad. You know, she cheered the whole damn game. But Jimmy, tell me about, I know we got anything, because I want to know about Reese. I want to know about Reese.
Oh, you know, the game and the plan, I did not make it to the basketball game.
Oh, okay.
Because that game was so defensively. It was so good of a chess match. I said, man, I can't leave what could be history. This game can be a fantastic finish, which it was a fantastic finish in regards to how it went down and the resilience of Duncanville and their comeback and had the ball in the closing seconds, marched down. I'm not mad I left because of course the game you're talking about is a basketball showdown between the top two 11th grade point guards in the country. And they both have Texas flavor, right? And you're talking, and it hasn't been since, it's been over a decade since we've had the top 2 point guards in the country in one from the same state. And so that was remarkable. And the thing that I noticed that, of course, the final Southeastern Prep from out of Florida, they're coached by David Peavy. Remember, he used to be the head coach at Duncanville. Remember the Anthony Black and all that saga that went down in the courts and the legalities. And they played a Atascocita and was down, had only scored, 4 points in the first half and came back and won that game in a magical, it only allowed Atascocita 4 points in the second half, that is, and Duncanville came back and won that game. Well, Anthony Black's little brother named Beckham Black. He's talented. He's one of those, he's kind of like, he's the LaMelo Ball to the what's the ball name? The other one?
Jello?
No, the other one. The first one they got.
Lonzo.
Yeah, he's the Melo to the Lonzo Ball. Not saying Lonzo Ball is chopped liver. He just had a career marred by injuries, and we never knew the full spectrum of how good he could have and would have been. But Melo Ball, that young one, has that spunk, has that spice to him, and he's fearless, a little bit more fearless than older brother. And this is what Beckham Black is. And Beckham Black went against, and my thing is, I caution about it, you don't expect Second Baptist from Houston to win that game going into it. You didn't expect them, and I say it all the time. But if you're gonna get your ass whooped,
get your money.
What do you got to do, Hal?
Get your money.
Get your money.
He got his money.
And that's the measuring stick, because some people in the agony, in the process of defeat, they become defeated. You see, you lose the player in the process of defeat.
Jimmy, I saw it on YouTube. He got his money.
Yeah, got one play, put a kid in the rim, pulled a kid, tried to take a charge, and guess what? Hey, He shocked him. That's the difference between a mentality. I explain to people when you're evaluating these kids. When certain kids leave the floor, they can leave with the thought of a layup. Some people can leave with the thought of a foul. And there's others can leave in the thought, I'm supposed to put you in the rim. And you're gonna get rich or die trying in the art of trying to do so. And that was a moment now when anytime Reese Austin takes 2 dribbles and hit the paint, people know now what he's capable of doing. You piss him off. That's what I'm just telling you. People know now what he's capable of doing. So once you become, he's just in 11th grade.
Jimmy, he knew the assignment. He knew the assignment. You know, some people don't know the assignment. That boy there said, I'm coming. He knew the assignment. You know how we said, man, some people don't play. That man knew, man, I'm playing for something. And Beckham the same way. That's what I liked about him. That's why both of them special. That's why both of them special, man.
And of course, Beckham Black finished with 31 points, 10 assists in that game, in that win. So I mean, he validated himself. For any of y'all thought and wondered. Now, some people wonder they ain't saw him. That's how it is. Sometimes you ain't saw a kid in a couple of years. You haven't seen him since Duncanville in the early going, and you're like, oh, he didn't really show me that. Well, he's bigger now. He's stronger now. He's much smarter now, and he's way more battle tested than he was whenever you saw him last. This ain't your same Beckham Black. Beckham Black is giving dudes black eyes out there on that basketball court. He is polished right now, and he's only going to get better. Now,
Jimmy, I didn't know he was that big.
I told you, he got a lot bigger.
They said it, man, about 6'5".
He done got a lot bigger.
I said, what? And then he's stocky.
Gotten stronger. And so I communicated with both his parents over the weekend, let them know I did not make it. I was planned on it, but I could not leave that. And it was only a 15-minute Uber ride from the stadium there, and I would have Ubered on back rather than have to worry about all this parking fiasco getting there for the last game. And I asked the guy, and that's what the mistake was. I get ready to leave the game out. I was getting ready to make a move for it. I said, well, where's the Uber pickup here? It's kind of like, you can imagine. You got to walk out down there past the Walmart. And I'm going out of exit number 2 or 3. No, man, I'm not finna do all that.
A long ass walk, pimp.
I'm not finna do it. Exactly. I wasn't finna do all that. So that's not I wasn't prepared for that. You know what? It's cheaper to stay right here. Let me stay right here and just suck it up. Go find me a charger. Get my phone right. But that's what it is in regarding them. But I wanted to say shout out to Reese Austin, because shout out to the head coach. Because you had to take that game.
Yeah.
Taylor, you had to take that game. And this is all it takes. High school coaches that listen to me.
Yes.
If you are fortunate enough to get a player that they have deemed a national McDonald's All-American ranged candidate, meaning that if you're in the top 40 in the country, top 50 in the country nowadays, then you're a prospect. You have a chance. And as a high school coach, if you get one of those, then the best thing that you can do, people are going to start calling your phone to want to attract your team to come play in various events. And I can tell you one thing, I should start a business doing this thing. Whatever they're offering you, I can almost guarantee you I can get you more. Because I know I've helped teams get out of town and told them extra things they can ask for. And if a person wants you there bad enough, then what they call it a mediator, a liaison, people can go and help that work out for you. And otherwise you'll settle for 7 hotel rooms when they really had 12 to give in a kitty. I can find that out. They're not going to tell you that. So if you got a kid and you're in a situation where people are calling to bring you out of town, I promise you call me and I can help you get more than whatever they offering, or help you know if that's a good deal what they're offering or not. Or to make sure to hold people accountable to get stuff in writing rather than just, because most of y'all should get it in writing anyway, because your AD's got to sign off on the trip out of town. That's how that go anyway. So it got to be in writing. but you don't want to leave anything out. Little bitty things like the hotel. You know, I can get you breakfast, and otherwise you had to pay for it yourselves, even though it's not your money, it's the school money. But little bitty things like that. I can get the coach an extra bottle on his pillow when he come check in. I can get the coach an upgrade to the suites rather than a double regular room. Little bitty things like that if you're in a situation. But you want to take your team to at least one game to put your star player in a position to help validate or improve his stock. And that's the ticket on there. Yeah, Southeast does. Yeah, Southeast doesn't have him. How they have 3 kids ranked nationally, like in the top 50. They ain't just those 2. The forward, the other 11th grader. So they have a young kid as well that's in there. So, but that's the thing. So now this could possibly start something far as box office. Next year, these 2 is probably going to face each other again. But it may be for some marbles if they face each other next year because they both are in range where it should be no brainers for McDonald All-American status.
Absolutely.
But then I know that I know and I've seen it before, how some kids can not necessarily get punished for playing on lesser appreciated sneaker circuits, which Reese Austin played with Puma, where he won the national championship each of the past 2 years. But they will give favor instead to those who do play on the respected sneaker circuits. So that's how I would put it like that. So that means they're not necessarily going to vote against you, but they're going to vote. Their vote will probably help the next kid who's over there where they see. Now, here's what I want to ask you. I know Tarkanian Classic was going on this weekend. Tascasitas up there playing right now. Their 3rd game. They lost the first game to a team out of California, Centennial. Won the 2nd game, beat a team out of Florida, the 2nd game, and now they're playing their rubber game up in Las Vegas at Bishop Gorman High School. Well, and what I was going to say in regard to Tascasita, I was going to put a correlation with this Second Baptist, and I lost my thought on that. But anyway, shout out to Tascasita. Hope they have safe travels back. Hope they get the win right now while they're playing in this event. Those are only 2 of the teams I know from out of town that are playing abroad right now. Other than that, we got some holiday tournaments. A lot of teams are not going to play, and they can't play the day before Christmas or 2 days before Christmas. That would be Tuesday. There could be no games all the way until at least a 5-day window. So probably going into the weekend, Saturday, I think, or Saturday or Monday is the first time that some of these teams can play again because of that rule they got you got to be 5. I think it's 5 days overlapping Christmas. You can't play. So that's to protect the families and not force them into scholastic competitions while they can be spending valuable family time with their loved ones. Other than that, you got what else we had out of this past week? It was something
Man,
I had in my
personal, man.
mailbag.
I'm watching the game, man. These dudes going at it, man.
Who that?
Reese and this boy, man, they going at it, man. Him and back, they going
I
at
heard.
each other like I'm talking about, and then get back up in your face. I said, "Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. I done started watching this game. I got it up on the screen, but that's all right.
That's called competing.
Man,
And that's what, and when you compete like that, at the end of the day, that's where respect comes from. You know, the respect comes from that.
absolutely.
You compete hard enough, I'm gonna get the win, but at the same time, you go home and realize, man, that dude better than what y'all told me he is. That was somebody gonna say to the other one. I guarantee somebody went back home out in both corners. They went back their respective corners and got on the bus and started thinking, man, y'all said dude wasn't he wasn't nothing. That dude, they're a problem.
Who said it wasn't? Ain't nobody
saying, but that's how some people think. Like, oh man, you got
not
him.
these two here, Jimmy. You might talk about somebody else.
No, I'm just talking in general. People would
okay.
say that. They would think that until you play against somebody and you realize that dude there, man, that's the real deal.
Man, these dudes. Hey, y'all, it's at the grind session on YouTube. Man, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. But what else you got? What you said? What else I got?
Um,
Oh,
what's
wait.
I had some stuff in my mailbag. I'm trying to
Me too. I'm a look.
look in. I had a
I
lot of
got
good
some
stuff.
grassroots stuff for you too. I think
You got some
I,
grassroots stuff.
I've been
I got
had. I'm looking it up. You can go first. I'm waiting on my thing to tabulate here.
oh, got a public announcement from the guys down there uh, in Beaumont. They have a young team,
What they say?
Odom Middle School.
Okay.
This team is supposed to be, you know how it is, it's supposed to be very, 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 very good, right?
Mm-hmm.
And because based on their players, the amount of players who have been excelling in the grassroots scene, and that's how you can get a measuring stick on at a team, and they both all attend the same middle school. They're
Mm-hmm.
in the 8th grade at Odom Middle School, and they are challenging Duncanville Middle School, which has a kid that went viral on a couple of videos. They got some supposed to have some fire down at Duncanville 8th grade team, and Beaumont Odom is challenging Duncanville to come on down and play. Now, it's going to be hard for them to play in the official realms of the UIL schedule because the schedule's already done and whatnot. However, there's one way that they can meet up and settle something to the best of their abilities, and that is if they met up at the middle school city championships. Even though it's been reserved for the last 8 years for teams within Greater Houston, we would be willing to make that exception and include Duncanville Middle School in that event and put them in the same pool with Beaumont Odom to start things off. That way now it'll be more than one team will go into the main bracket, but that way you guaranteed to get that game out the gates. That way y'all get it off your chest, and guess what? If you do what you're supposed to do with the other team in your pool or whatnot, and you still can meet up in the championship if both of y'all are who y'all claim to be. That's a solution in regards to that. Speaking of high school football, a while ago, the
Mm-hmm.
head coach from Bryan High School has stepped down. He's resigned from his position,
Hmm.
and her name was Ricky Tulos. Bryan High School has long been a basketball power. You know, they've always placed a show, not necessarily a state. I think now they put them in. Uh, I don't know if they're in Region 3 now, or they are not. But anyway, Brian has been great in football, and since has lost a lot of their fears. So he stepped down. Want to get that out there. Then let me see. Which school is that? Mr. Jackson, DJ Parker. What school is that? Oldham or is that Duncanville?
That's Mr. Smith. That's A. Smith. I think he talking about Duncanville duo with
Okay.
future pros, no matter what nobody say.
Well, A. Smith, once again, in case you just tuned in, the middle school city championships will take place February the 21st and the 22nd. The 21st and the 22nd. You are definitely, I'll reach out to Coach Ford, because normally the high school coach, I have influence with the middle school coach because that high school coach has been to a lot of our events. And he can verify, hey man, it's legit, it's gonna be well ran, and definitely you want to get some of that. Hell, Duncanville High School.
Somebody said, man, don't bring them two-time reclass kids down here. Hey, man, please don't do that, y'all. And you're right. Who is that? I don't know your name. Man, Adam, A-Tom, Ski, A-Tom. Man, you're right. Absolutely. Don't you be bringing them old ass kids down here, man. Yeah, that's a good one. I like that one. Thank you. Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
well, like I said, I'm doing my part to try to make it work. If Duncanville come down and they came and participated in that, then we would do our part to try to embrace them and make them have a good, safe stay while they're in Houston. It's that's a 2-day tournament. That's the thing. It's a 2-day tournament. Now, Duncanville, if they didn't want to stay overnight, they'll feel free just to play their 2 pool games and then turn around and go on back home, and you can do that. And hell, and if you feel compelled to hell, you can come the day of. Yeah, since that's in style right now. We don't have to worry about you don't have to worry about the hotel. You come the day of. Come on the day of and play Beaumont Odom the day of. Get off the bus. Since since that's in style right now. But other than that, man, it's almost time to lay it on down.
Oh my God.
And Bevan Deuce said there's no reclass players on Odom's team. So he's had them since the 2nd grade. No reclass on the Odom's team.
Okay.
And like I said, once again, if you're just tuning in, that's February the 21st and the 22nd. That's the weekend after Valentine's Day. And we moved it away from that weekend, guys, because we were going to go that previous weekend, but there's several sneaker companies are doing events all of a sudden now on that previous weekend. So we just got the hell out of their way. I ain't worried about one of them. Like you had the Night Rider tournament, which is a Nike flavor. Night Riders 17, you was sponsored by Nike. They always had one on President's Day weekend, and which it would be in Houston. Let me see.
Oh, they going. Oh, A. Smith going. Hey, all I'm saying is, just bring this girl. Best bring the real birth certificate, not one of them doctored ones up. Just bring.
Well, it don't take that. If they were part of their team, then that mean they're enrolled in their school. So if we have rules in place. All they got to do, they have to present. The coach have to bring one of his scorebooks, bring his scorebook with them. That way, one of those kids have to be in that scorebook, or if they're not, because that way now there are some kids we've had that played in different events in the middle school city championship. Let's say there was a kid who got in trouble in school and could not play because he was at the alternative school, but he's still a member of the school and enrolled in the school, but he had to go to alternative. He couldn't play the sport. But if you are enrolled in the school, that means you have your student ID. Your student ID, your report card, current report card, or the coach's scorebook. Those combinations is what makes the kids eligible to play. Now,
Jim, we'll talk about tomorrow. I'm gonna give you a chance to do it. But we'll talk about it a little bit tomorrow. But I want to, I do want to comment on Ed Cooley throwing that water bottle in the stands. We'll talk about it tomorrow. The coach.
We'll talk about that tomorrow, and then guess what? Tomorrow we're gonna dive right in. We're gonna dive right in on what this means. Of course, Bryce Griggs is gonna be back, and this could be box office. Bryce could be reborn when you're thinking about the college season. Could be back. So that'd be a lot to talk about on tomorrow as well.
And you done froze up on me, man.
Damn.
We can hear you good though.
Well, that's good. So you can land the plane.
Yeah,
you land the plane on that note. I'm good.
Be out of here. But hold up. Let me. He said Eric Jackson and DJ Part are legit 8th graders, like the coach said. Are you back, Jimmy? Okay. All right. Long as they legit, man. That's all. We just want. I want to see them. But if they 20 years old in 8th grade, that ain't good. That ain't good. That's it. That's all we saying. Don't get upset. He said, "Go look at."
I wouldn't mind it going down. Guess what? That stage, if you guys do your homework about the middle school city championship, we've had a lot of marquee showdowns in that event, and the atmosphere is so fun. It don't get no funner than that middle school city championship for some of those teams. Remember, some of those teams hadn't lost all year.
Hold up, Jimmy. This ain't the dude that been showing up on all the videos. Everybody talking about 8th graders dunking. This dude in Dallas?
Mm-hmm.
And everybody over the internet talking about the man 30. Man, y'all wrong for that. I'm going to look it up. I can't wait. Thank you, man. I'm going to look it up. And Jimmy, you done froze up again. But we'll see y'all tomorrow. I don't know why it frees up right at the end. But we'll see y'all tomorrow.